Okay, so before we leave Baltimore, we better go to the fort.
Better.
Hello there, Parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. I'm your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co-host, Mary Donnelly.
We are stopping here at the
Fort McHenry.
Fort McHenry National Monument. I'm shaky.
Yeah,
Fort McHenry National Monument.
There you go. You got it. Too far. Okay.
Historical site. So let's take you inside and see what we can find here. We're going to go over to the fort too. But before we get into that, if you're into the paranormal, history, forensic, and travel type videos,
don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell so you'll hear from us next time we post a new video.
Let's go.
Fort McHenry, located at the entrance of the Baltimore Harbor, holds a storied place in American history as the birthplace of the national anthem. Constructed in the 18th century and named after Secretary of War James McHenry, the star-shaped fort was designed to defend the port city of Baltimore from naval attack. Its strategic location made it a key military installation during the early years of the United States, particularly during the War of 1812, when tensions between the young nation and Great Britain erupted into conflict. The most famous moment in Fort McHenry's history occurred during the Battle of Baltimore in September of 1814. After the burning of Washington, D.C., British forces turned their attention to Baltimore. For 25 hours, British ships bombarded Fort McHenry in an attempt to force the Americans to surrender. Despite the relentless shelling, the American defenders held firm. At dawn on September 14th of 1814, a large American flag, the now famous Star-Spangled Banner, was seen flying triumphantly over the fort, signaling victory. Watching the bombardment from a British ship in the harbor was lawyer and amateur poet Francis Scott Key, who had boarded the vessel to negotiate the release of an American prisoner. Inspired by the sight of the flag still waving after the night's attack, Key penned the poem titled Defense of Fort McHenry, which would later be set to music and become the Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States. This event immortalized Fort McHenry in American history as a symbol of resilience and patriotism. Fort McHenry continued to serve as a military post through World War I and World War II, during which it functioned as a hospital and a coastal defense site. In 1925, it was designated a national park, and in 1939, a national monument and historic shrine, the only such dual designation in the U.S. Today, Fort McHenry remains a powerful symbol of national identity, attracting visitors from around the world who come to walk in its ramparts, view the massive garrison flag, and learn the story behind America's anthem.
What I read into the paranormal about the fort is why some think there's so much paranormal activity here is because of the shape of the fort. It's shaped like a pentagon. And they think that that's why spirits are trapped here, spirits of soldiers. Yeah. What do you think about that? What's your opinion?
I don't think pentagon's the right word, but okay, that could be.
Okay. So you're saying I'm wrong
I'm
again?
saying that a pentagon is shaped like this, and it's not the symbol for the demonic thing. I forget what the shape is called, but it's not a pentagon.
I just know once we cross this spot right here,
Yeah.
it's going to be very hot.
It is going to be very hot.
And I left my hat in the car.
Yes, 'cause
So I'm going to burn the top of my head. So let's move quickly. Of course, you're going to have to hit every placard along the way.
But we'll take a picture fast.
putting up a bigger flag.
Oh, the
So what do you think so far?
I think it's 100 degrees today.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's smoldering.
It is. Yeah, but
Very
it's
hot.
pretty cool.
course, you would find the jail cells.
Yeah, this one here is Henry Hall Brogdon's cell. It's very dark in here, so hopefully the pictures will come out so we can see what it actually says.
Doubtful.
Yeah. I went into the cell as a boy. I came out a gray-haired man with little, long experience. This is a shame.
There's no light.
Yeah. This here has his account and everything. Just can't.
Hold on a second. Don't do that.
So it says, it was under the parapet in the casemate and consequently underground. It lay at the upper end of a narrow passageway on which two other cells opened. There was a grated iron door which was closed all day, and there was a solid wooden door which was closed when the flag fell in the evening. I was allowed a mattress which I placed on the damp floor at night and stood up on end against the wall in the day. I was not allowed a knife and fork, my food being cut up by the sentry outside and pushed through the grated door, while I held a tin plate to catch it. I do not remember the plate was washed during the entire time of my imprisonment in the cell. There was no convenience for bathing, nor did I take a bath during the entire time of my confinement at the fort. The sanitary arrangements consisted of a half a barrel, which was emptied in the morning when the cell was cleaned. He was in here from May to December.
What was his name?
His name was Henry Hall Brogdon. Easy.
Fort McHenry, while best known for its defense of Baltimore and its connection to the Star-Spangled Banner, also has a lesser-known but more chilling reputation for paranormal activity. With centuries of military history, wartime suffering, and long-forgotten prisoners, it's no surprise that stories of hauntings have lingered within the brick walls and tunnels of the star-shaped fort. Many believe that the lingering energy of soldiers who lived, fought, and died there remains imprinted on its stone corridors and parade grounds. One of the most frequently reported ghostly phenomena is the appearance of phantom soldiers. Visitors and park staff have described seeing apparitions in full military uniform patrolling the ramparts or standing silently near the guard posts, only to vanish when approached. Some have heard the faint sound of marching boots or shouting orders in the distance, even when no reenactments or events are taking place. These spectral soldiers are seen often near the Sally Port, where many believe prisoners of war were held and interrogated. One of these soldiers could be Private John Drew, who was a soldier sent down into one of the prison cells in confinement for falling asleep on his watch over the battery. During his imprisonment, a guard sat his weapon down within Drew's reach, just outside of his cell. Ashamed and distraught, Drew grabbed the gun and killed himself. Many have since reported seeing a soldier pacing endlessly in the area where Drew had been caught sleeping on the job. He is also seen in his prison cell, forever trapped in his guilt, trying to correct the fatal error that he made. Some of the other soldiers seen are thought to be either Levi Cleggett or Schultz Clem. 34-year-old U.S. Army Lieutenant Levi Cleggett was killed along with some of his men when a bomb burst in not the air, but in their gun emplacement. A direct hit, the British mortar landed on the bastion where the lieutenant was standing guard. The cannon wheel broke, causing the cannon to fall on top of Cleggett, crushing him to death. Immediately after this hit, a piece of mortar hit Sergeant John Schultz Clem in the abdomen. He died in a matter of minutes, but morbidly, some of his friends dug up the shrapnel to save it as some sort of souvenir. Perhaps they could be some of the soldiers seen as well, as ghostly figures of uniformed men can be found from that period walking along the top of the bastion. Inside the fort's casemates and powder magazine, strange, cold spots can be found, disembodied voices heard, and the feeling of being watched are all commonly reported. Some say that the energy is particularly heavy near the old prison cells, where both British and American soldiers may have been confined under harsh conditions, as well as those during the Civil War. One such apparition could just be Henry Hall Brogdon, a soldier whose story is highlighted in the cell he was confined to. His story expresses the incredibly horrific conditions. Perhaps he, even though released after 7 months, continues to be tormented by the time he spent there. Stories also persist of female spirits, the first probably the wife of a soldier who died at the fort. Her sobs echo softly through the tunnels late at night. Her apparition is sometimes seen in period clothing, wandering aimlessly before simply fading into the walls. The most dramatic ghost is also described as a white figure of a woman who is a bit hostile and takes her sorrow and death out on the living. Reportedly, she has pushed people downstairs and has knocked others unconscious. It is believed that she may be the wife of a non-commissioned officer assigned to the fort whose children died during an epidemic in the 1920s. Modern paranormal investigators have visited Fort McHenry and captured a variety of unexplained phenomena, including EVPs, shadow figures, and sudden temperature drops. Despite its status as a well-maintained national monument, Fort McHenry's haunted legacy adds a mysterious layer to its patriotic fame. For those sensitive to the unseen, a walk through its historic grounds can feel less like a museum visit and more like a brush with the past that refuses to be forgotten.
Okay, sweetie. Fort McHenry.
Fort McHenry, absolutely.
It's the Star-Spangled Banner.
It is, and I think it's the old version they put up while we were here. The the current American flag was hanging.
Well, what they do is they
here.
have one for weather and one that non-weather.
Okay.
So the one that Francis Scott's Key saw is when they changed out the small to the big, which I think was bigger than that one. But he wasn't here. He was out in the bay on the ship and saw it.
So maybe like one of those ships out there.
Yeah, could be.
But definitely those are more recent.
All right, so what do you think? Anything else you want to add? Really hot.
It was cool. There was one
spot. It wasn't cool, it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Cool as in interesting. There was one spot that they had like a big placard inside, but there was a gate up against it. You couldn't go in there. The door was open, but there was a big metal gate there. Yeah, so it's like, why would they put the information about it all the way inside that you couldn't read? That was the one thing. But I took a picture of it from far away, so we'll zoom in on it and see what it said.
All right. Okay, folks. Well, we're going to wrap it up here from Fort McHenry, and then we're leaving here, and we're going to head south.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Hey, till next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
That's a good picture shot. Let's get that too as a photo.
Let us know if you like this video by hitting that thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more videos from us in the future, Support our channel by hitting that subscribe button and dinging that bell so you get notified the next time there's a video from Panic D Videos.
Thanks for watching.
Happy hunting!